This thing on. Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here in June. A very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. Welcome back to Big Mouth, and you can continue this conversation with me over on my Twitter at Movies TV Mad. Yes, woke Twitter deserts Terminator Dark Fate to go and watch the Joker movie. I repeat, woke Twitter deserts Terminator Dark Fate to go and see Joker movie. The very people who said, I'll never go and see the Joker movie, it's too scary, it's too depressing. But they've gone to support that film. Basically, they are liars. They're all about sound bites. They have been gagging for ages to see more strong female leads. Well, Terminator Dark Fate has 3 strong female leads, kind of. Terminator Dark Fate isn't a really bad film. It isn't a great film. It's just yet another dull, uninspiring Terminator sequel, which they've actually all been. In fact, Terminator 3 is a really good movie. And the only reason people didn't like it is because they were comparing it to 2. Don't compare it to 2. It's brilliant. But the thing is here, this is just really, really funny. As usual, the woke squad, they talk a big game. These were the same people supporting Captain Marvel who actually didn't go and see Captain Marvel. The support of Captain Marvel was left to us, the men. We saved a strong female-led movie. We are the ones going to the cinema to watch Terminator Dark Fate. Not woke Twitter, not females, not young girls. This is an R-rated movie. People are wondering why this movie has flopped. I think one of its reasons is technically this is an R-rated film. And unlike Joker, the all-round kind of consensus isn't we must go and see another Terminator movie that's R-rated. That's the problem. R-rating it has really, really hurt it. All there is a bit of swearing. It's not the Joker. It's not interesting. There's not commentary on anything. And there's no need to have commentary. That's one of the problems with Hollywood today. But there's no interest. That's one of the major reasons people are not going to go and see this. But it's funny, everyone, isn't it? Woke Twitter are like these people who say all these things. They constantly attack men and so-called toxic masculinity, right? So why aren't you going to see Terminator Dark Fate? It's a female-led film. I don't understand. It's really, really funny, isn't it, what's happened? Because, as I said in yesterday's video, James Cameron thought he would be clever and start talking about Wonder Woman and talking about Patty Jenkins over-sexualising her, which is absolute balls, right? But he did. He tried to link a successful female-led movie with his own movie, not even his own movie. But Mr. Cameron tries to step away from this movie now by trying to blame Tim Miller in a nice, polite way. There were a lot of arguments. Yep, they didn't agree. He even mentioned that the director of Alita liked all his ideas. The problem is, James, you either want a director to direct his own movie or you don't. Otherwise, mate, you should have directed and wrote this Terminator movie on your own. In fact, maybe it was better. This is something else, though, because we've always thought that James Cameron is Mr. Movie, Mr. Auteur. And we always thought, with the name James Cameron back, reunited with the Terminator franchise, it was going to be a slam dunk. I mean, we were hearing 40 million at least. It's looking like 20, 26 million opening. I think that's domestically. Who knows what it's going to do globally? I would think it's going to do about 50, maybe. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll do more. I don't know. I'm not a box office expert. It's not something I really focus on. But as I say, it is hilarious. After all the talk of woke Twitter, they haven't gone to support this film. But I'm going to sound a bit ageist here. How many young women really are going to be attracted to going to see 60 plus year old Linda Hamilton and a couple of other females in this film? Listen, Terminator isn't from this generation. The only people who are ever going to support this film are people like me and people who grew up with this franchise. Well, we thought another sequel was a great idea. they did talk a good game. It was exciting, but once we knew what they were doing, and then the final straw, of course, was killing off John Connor. Sorry, spoiler alert, tough shit. You know now, killing off John Connor in 10 minutes with Schwarzenegger's T-800, is it? Kills him at a beach. Ridiculous. Also, they can do the identity politics, right? And represent women. So basically what they do is take away a male hero and replace him with a female hero. But it's not an obvious thing. It's a big reveal in the end, and we're supposed to be so surprised. The point that they're trying to make this a surprise, isn't that them being sexist towards women? We wouldn't believe that this young woman wouldn't be able to lead. Then again, looking at the character and the way she's done, you wouldn't believe she'd be a great leader. In fact, I would definitely believe Mackenzie Davis's character will be a great leader in the future, but not the other character. So it's really, really funny. Yes, Mackenzie Davis is a really, really talented woman. She does really well in this film. Most of the stunt work is her. Physically strong. Brilliant. That aspect of it is brilliant. And if you want to represent women, this is the kind of thing you want to see. But unfortunately, they don't give her the whole package. It's disappointing. It's a disappointing film. But I want you to imagine something. Let's just say you live in an alternate universe. And that classic Brad Fidel music comes up. Na, na, na. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Linda Hamilton. And introducing Edward Furlong as John Connor. Terminator, Dark Fate. Even makes sense, Dark Fate, right, with what I would do and what millions of people around the world would do. We would be in the future where Edward Furlong's John Connor is finally ruling the resistance. It's a post-apocalyptic story, either a movie or a streaming service TV show with a high budget as well. Whatever you want to do, right? This is what should have been the Terminator 3. From the beginning, right? But they didn't do it. James Cameron allowed his ownership of this property to go, and then he got it back again. And it's all to do with his little relationship he had with one of the co-producers of the original films. And this is how corrupt Hollywood is, right? Corrupt. She also kind of owns the card on The Walking Dead as well. I forgot her name. You would know her name if I said it. But this is the point, how corrupt. And it's all about nepotism. So someone marries someone, they become big, you respect them, but then you realise they're only involved because they married someone. But that's Hollywood. But that's not why we're here today. We're here to say, I'm trying to give you a picture of a better Terminator Dark Fate. One that would have actually worked, but one that should have been Terminator 3 all those years ago. Arnie was involved. Edward Furlong was originally involved, but he went on a bender. So it wasn't possible for him to be involved. But here's the point. Nick Stoll in Terminator 3 is actually really good. Really good. One of the best things about the movie. I believe he's John Connor. So if you had Linda Hamilton, who refused to do it at the time, but if you threw a few more bucks, she would have done it. If James Cameron was still involved with T3, she would have done it. Do you understand? He even married Linda Hamilton, for crying out loud. You know, the guy can't keep it in his flipping trousers, can he? It's funny, really, when he talks about Wonder Woman being over-sexualised and too good-looking. I mean, us men have got a bad name because of people like him. Is he kind of married everyone he's worked with or something? Anyway, the point is we didn't get a Terminator 3. But if he was the genius that he claims to be, that's what he would have done. Now, personally, after T2, it should have been over. No TV show, no 3, no 4, no 5, no nothing. But Hollywood, in terms of sequels, can't keep it in their pants either. And this is what happens. A lack of imagination. We've thrown them a little bone, and then all of a sudden, they'll go out and watch it. Audiences, thanks to the internet, are not stupid anymore. They're not going to see whatever you tell them to. It's happening all the time. We saw what happened with Justice League. There's too much information coming from behind the set, from beyond the set. We've all got it. I've got sources. The average Mr. and Mrs. Joe blogs have got sources. We all know what happens between movies. We all know that Cameron and Millen? Should we just call him Tim Millen? Tim Miller didn't get on. Now do we understand Do we understand why he was sacked from Deadpool 2 by Ryan Reynolds? And I was a bit disrespectful of Ryan Reynolds for sacking him. I thought he made a great movie. Why didn't you like him? Now we know. He's a difficult bastard to work with. That's why. So here we are. The title of the video, Woke Twitter, goes to see the Joker movie instead of Terminator Dark Fate. This is the truth. People going to see something they didn't support originally for a film they've been crying out for years. Strong female leads, but you didn't go and support them, which means you don't actually support what you say, which is another problem for Hollywood, who pay a lot of attention to Twitter. That's why there's so many bloody reshoots. Hollywood don't know how to represent women. Hollywood don't know how to represent a strong woman or an average woman. Because here's the thing. Hollywood treat every kind of person as a same symptomatic person. So when they talk about representing women, they think all women are the same, or all strong women are the same. And of course, we're all individuals. Just because I'm a man, it doesn't mean that I'm like all the millions of men around the world. We'll all have our individual flaws and pluses, right? And positivities because of our parents, the things that we've experienced in our lives. But once you judge people on nationalities, of skin colour, of culture, of gender, and you start trying to represent us people, you are the very thing you're accusing us of. Toxic, racist, and sexist. I remember Neighbours, the TV soap, the Australian TV soap, had an Italian family. I might have mentioned it in one of my videos. And they actually had an Italian family eating fucking spaghetti. Now you tell me who are the toxic ones. You tell me who are the racist ones. Not us. Not us. I tell you what, if they cast a Latino actor to play Superman and he was a great actor and he looked great, I'd be fine with it if it was the right person. We are not racist. We are not sexist. But the problem is, Hollywood, you're constantly trying to virtue signal. This is the problem. And you have failed because woke Twitter is fake Twitter. Fake Twitter. Nobody supported Terminator Dark Fate. Nobody supported these female leads. Because you know what you should have done? You should have created a brand new story with these three magnificent ladies, right? These three magnificent ladies, or the two of them, right? Keep Linda Hamilton with the alternate version, my alternate version of Terminator Dark Fate. Take Mackenzie Davis and the other girl, give them their own movie, their own franchise, call it what you want, and it would have been awesome, and it would have made box office history and write them the right way. But no, you have to replace all the men with all the women. And you think you are representing women. Well, you're not. Hollywood, you can keep on doing this and you're going to fail. You know why you're going to fail? Because this isn't the 60s, 70s and 80s and 90s. This is the 21st century. We're about to end a decade. People have internet access. We know exactly what's going on. As I've already said, we are not dumb anymore. We don't want your dumb, unintellectual identity politics anymore. We want to be entertained. Our lives are shit. They're mediocre, right? We want an escape. I'm not talking about my life. I'm talking about people's lives in general, right? Films, storytelling, animation, everything. We need that escape. We used to have it. Nothing better as a young boy who was bullied at school to come in and watch Looney Tunes and see Bugs Bunny fighting his bullies like Elmer Fudd, Yosemite Sam. It was beautiful. Now we don't have escapism. Everything we watch, we've got to hear about Trump or Brexit or toxic masculinity. It's boring. If you're going to shine a light in the real world, at least do what Joker did. Talk about something relevant that affects many more people than toxic masculinity. A fake term that means nothing to no one. I want you to comment down below. Do you think it's as hilarious as I do that woke Twitter deserted Terminator Dark Fate with those strong female ladies and went to watch the Joker movie? Let me know what you think. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll be back later with another video, or maybe not. Maybe I'll be back tomorrow. I'll have to think about it. See you later.